evening, Terp fans from Xfinity Center. I'm a little bit under the weather, but joining me tonight's intern Mason. What'd you see tonight out there in the 80-63 Terp victory over Cleveland State?
Early in the game, Cleveland State had more heart and more power, is what it looked like, but then Maryland exerted its will onto Cleveland State onto an 80-63 win.
Right, big play from the early part was a Dodd to Checo. State takes a 25-24 lead with 7:50 to go in the first, and who's Maryland go to the bench?
Maryland goes to who you say is a spark starter, Varun Ram at that point.
And yeah, he comes in with 4:49. He sort of changes the floor balance. Dan Schiffman looked over a couple times and said that that energy that Varun brings changes the game. Up to that point, Maryland was getting out hustled. At halftime,
Maryland was up 37-33 over Cleveland State.
And they had more Jalen Brantley than you usually see. Nickens had 11. Maryland comes out of the break. It's a 6-0 run and a Carter dunk. Leads to a Cleveland State timeout. And around the 50-minute mark, Carter just takes over. And then, as usual, Turge takes them right out. What'd you think of DeMonte Flanagan?
DeMonte Flanagan really had a career day against the Terps. 20 or so points, and just a really big thing that really exposed the Maryland defense.
For a bit. And then with about 7:35 to go, Nickens hits a three, Lehman hits a three, Maryland up 64-49. My player of the game has got to be Carter. That is 17 points, 6 of 8 from the floor, 2 of 2 from 3, 8 rebounds. Mello gets 6 assists. Maryland goes 29 for 50, 7 of 14 from 3, 15 of 18 from the line, and
21 assists from the Terps, really passing the ball, making the extra pass, making their threes tonight onto a dominating victory.
Well, the one thing that's missing is Maryland still hasn't had that 40-point blowout yet. We're waiting for that. What'd you think of the Maryland football game today?
I was really impressed about the way that the Terps battled back and giving Locks that win that he very much wanted. The team played with a lot of heart, a lot of energy, and great for Mike Loxley to get that win.
46-41 Maryland over Rutgers. We'll be back in a second. This post-game show, as all of them, brought to you by Meyer Consulting Engineers of Rockville.
Meyer Consulting Engineers. In the past 5 years, our organization has completed over 1,300 projects in the U.S. and abroad, including many structures at the University of Maryland. For structural engineering and materials testing and inspection, call Meyer Consulting Engineers.
So to all you Terp fans out there, it's just Maryland, Cleveland State tonight. But for the TerpTalk postgame show, brings us a new sponsor. This is Dan Schiffman with Northwestern Mutual Life Insurance. Thank you for the sponsorship. I see you're wearing the Maryland colors today. Tell me a little bit about your Maryland fandom and what you saw out there tonight.
Yeah, certainly been a Maryland fan for a long time. It's an exciting game. Maryland comes on the second half and kind of pours it on with a deep bench and comes away with a victory. Right.
Now, you said during the game that for somebody like Turge, or at least a lot of basketball teams, having this many great talents on the court is like a one-time deal.
Yeah, it seems to me it's a once-in-a-career opportunity to coach a team that has this type of a bench and this type of depth to it.
Yeah. It's true. The one place I'm not so sure is in the backcourt. We're surrounded here by cheerleaders. It's a bit distracting. But they're on the other side of the camera. Every once in a while, I just don't know if there's enough guards to make this happen. And my radio partner, Bruce, says if you have great guards, you can go a long way. You think Mello and Suleiman, they're going to pass the test at the end?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when Trimble comes in, it just changes the complexion of the game almost immediately. And Suleiman, having him up here now is, gives them, depth at the guard position.
Yeah, does. It really played out against Rhode Island the other night. Tonight, they didn't have a great game in the backcourt. Nickens and Carter and Stone had all the boards, so it's nice to see some balance out there. For those who are, as my voice goes away, why don't you tell everybody how to reach you?
Sure. Well, you can reach me at danschiffman.com or 301-662-4877.
And you're with Northwestern.
Northwestern Mutual, full-service financial planning firm.
Thank you for the sponsorship. You'll hear more from Dan as the season goes on. For intern Mason, Bruce, who's away from the camera tonight, Dan Schiffman, this is Wayne Viner for Internal Productions. Live from Xfinity Center, I'll find my voice before we play North Carolina. It's 80-63 Terps tonight over the Cleveland State Vikings. Good evening.